I've always used music as an outlet, as a way to express myself. And I realized I was not likely to be able to have a career in music, but it's something that I always kept up with. And through college, getting a job, having a family. And then about 10 or 12 years ago, I seriously got involved again in studying piano and going to adult piano camp and getting involved with musicians. And ever since then, I've always wanted to create an album of my own music, and so this was an opportunity to do that. The reason I did this now, there were two reasons actually. The first is it's the 10th anniversary of my business, Leverage to Market, and I wanted something different to share with my clients and with my colleagues, and a way to commemorate being in business for 10 years. It also happens to be the 20th anniversary of my daughter Ilana's diagnosis with type 1 diabetes, just before her second birthday. Type 1 diabetes is a disease that, strangely enough, is not managed by the doctors. It's managed by the patients and the families, because it's a 24/7 thing. And when she was diagnosed 20 years ago, the predictions were fairly dire about complications, about life expectancy, etc. And so we just did the best we could, and we kept going forward. And here we are 2 decades later, and she's healthy, and she's strong, and the advances in technology continue. We have different insulins, we have different glucose monitors, we have different pumps and continuous glucose monitoring systems, and the predictions for complications have changed drastically too, and the predictions have gone down from high numbers to very low numbers, but we still don't have a cure. And so in recognition of 20 years of beating back this disease and staying on top of it, I wanted to do something, and therefore I recorded this album. I decided to put this out here as a fundraiser for JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So anyone who makes a donation of $20 or more in honor of 20 years of us fighting with this disease will receive a copy of the MP3 files of this album. And that's my way of giving back. I chose 13 pieces for this album. The album is called Night Songs. And it's really pieces that are nocturnes or night songs, or in the style of nocturnes. And I did that for a couple of reasons. They're shorter pieces, they're a little bit more approachable if you're not a serious classical music aficionado. It's not as heavy as a big Beethoven sonata or a concerto or anything of that nature. But they're short lyrical pieces. They're usually in a minor key. They evoke the idea of being at night. And it was just kind of an interesting way to introduce some of these. I see this as being an album you could put on your iPod or your stereo, if you still have one, in the evening, and just listen to while you're doing other things around the house, or just listening and paying attention to the music. So that was my goal in putting this together.